every even for integration suite, right? If you click on this, sorry, here, connection is secure and certificate is valid, details, you can always, if you click on export, sorry, if you click on export, that certificates will be coming. So just a minute.
You also working for Accenture?
I like my first company was Accenture. Now
Okay.
3 years I worked over there, so now it's different
Mhm.
company. Here I was, yeah, monitor. So we'll just need to import the certificate over there. Like there are multiple other options: key pair, SSH key, RSA key,
Mhm.
keys, this and all. Okay, so then yeah, security wise those two. Logic wise, I think palette function wise we have seen like in events we have seen start message, end message, and then we have seen transformation. Under the transformation we see content modifier, router, converter, and then request reply for external call. And we have seen sender and receiver. I think we covered pretty much almost like 15 to 20 percentage. Now we will, I think go with another adapter, soap adapter. Okay. Any idea what is soap adapter?
Mhm.
No, definitely not the one which you use to wash your body. Not that soap, but
I felt the same way, like simple object access protocol.
yep, yep. So simple object access
It's
protocol.
adapter, right? SOAP,
Yep.
like
So
HTTP.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay.
So we have like different APIs, right? Like REST API, SOAP API, OData API. REST
Mm,
APIs, that is HTTPS adapter. For SOAP APIs, it's SOAP adapter, and for OData APIs, it's OData adapter. That way. Okay. So for SOAP web
how
services,
we will differentiate whether it is a SOAP
uh,
API or else, yeah,
yeah. So we'll have this
API
API.sap.com.
dot Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah, so there only they will be mentioning whether it's a SOAP API, a REST API, something like that. I'll just show them.
Mm,
This is the issue. It will take long time to load. Mm-hmm. Can click on integrations. You can come to integration
all,
below.
all the way lost.
Yeah,
Lost adapter. Yeah.
or else you can just search with APIs.
Okay.
Okay. If you click on any one,
Mm.
let's see.
Meanwhile, you can continue that one.
Yeah. There should be something called APIs also, or product API.
Mm. Product APIs.
You saw somewhere product API.
Mm.
I need to search it. There was one tab for API where they removed it. Hmm.
Okay.
So,
REST API.
yeah, you were seeing right here. REST API,
Hmm.
REST API, OData V2 API,
So for REST, we using HTTP
HTTP.
adapters, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. For OData, we use
OData.
OData.
Yeah, there is something
So,
called as adapter.
mm,
So,
mm, 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 mm,
so search with Workday. Workday success factor will be using. So,
mm.
most probably.
Even they are using REST API.
Yeah,
Mm. Success factor. Yeah.
most of the first itself is coming REST API.
It's okay. Now I get to know like where we
Yeah.
can
So,
identify. Yeah.
yep, we'll be seeing it somewhere here only, whether they will be
Mm,
mentioning whether it is SOAP API or REST API, something like that.
mm,
So that way we will be classifying the adapter and based on the requirement from where we are getting or what type of data we're receiving, whether it's a SOAP web service or whether it's a
mm,
REST API, then we will be classifying the adapter. Okay. So simplified
mm.
object access protocol. So it uses XML envelopes. REST, I think it sometimes it can be like XML or JSON or anything. SOAP is always XML. There won't be any JSON here. Okay. So usually for the SOAP, XML set sometimes it will be covered with this envelope. Envelope is like a cover where the header and body will be there, and inside header we will have body. Okay, we'll always have to place our body inside this. Just a format of XML. Okay, XML will be covered inside an envelope. We
Okay.
don't need to like. I'll just explain like the structure, but we don't need to go deep here. And WSDL is something called as web service description, like definition language or description language. So WSDL is like you might be knowing that as a basis, like SOA, SOA manager configuration. So SOAP web services at the back end, you will be using SOA manager web service configuration and all, right? So for that, each service it will be having specific file called as WSDL. Okay. So like what operations we can do, whether it's post operation or so there is one file which I downloaded. This is for calculator web service. Okay,
Wow.
so WSDL will look like this. Okay, so it has the sequence, it has the cardinality, how minimum occurs, maximum occurs, and type of actions we can do. We can add, and the response file will be there, and subtract response, multiply response, divide response, and all what and actions we can do. And at the end we will be having something called as endpoint URL or something like that. Address location
This
is
much of
this.
coding we need to do.
No, we don't need
We
to
will
do it.
just okay.
There will be some service, there will be some standard
Mm.
soap service or customer soap service which we need to consume. So I'm just showing like what we will consume or what, like how does the file look like. We
How?
don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to, yeah, we don't need to code it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
uh So yeah, and then like how we can do operations and all, like we will go hands on that. So real time we will usually Workday and success factor, both of them uses soap. Like it's not like they will only use soap, they will use rest data also. But we can see the scenarios over there. And
Yeah.
yeah, so let's go to hands on. Created one package. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, so we will be having two, like soap sender adapter and soap receiver adapter, right? So I just try to first, like I'll just try to explain how the receiver adapter will work. Then we can go to sender adapter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here we have used the soap receiver adapter, but just to test, like we'll be testing from Postman, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be using HTTPS adapter for that. Okay, you just give
So
some.
from sender, it will be anything like HTTP or
Yeah.
yeah. By
So
default, we use HTTP. So, but when it comes to
yeah. No, no, it's not. It's
inside,
not default. It's not
okay.
default.
Mm-hmm.
What we can say is like, see, if we are sending to the backend is for HANA and it's a SOAP service, then we will be using the SOAP receiver adapter. Okay.
Yeah.
If we are consuming, okay, so says it's for HANA as the sender itself, and we are consuming the SOAP web service, then the sender adapter will be the
HTTP.
yeah. So sender adapter will be the SOAP adapter over there. Here, since like this calculator web service is a SOAP web service, okay. So we will be
Mm-hmm.
doing operations on that service. So the receiver adapter is SOAP over there, and we will be calling from Postman, right? So sender adapter is HTTPS because it's like a browser-based, like it's a browser-based system, right? We will be calling
Mm-hmm.
from Postman, so that will be HTTPS. So we are just given that some meaningful address here, and then message mapping. So message mapping is not needed, just to to show you like how we use the SOAP web service and all. Like I will explain
Mm-hmm.
in detail on how message mapping works and all. But
Yeah.
before that, we will be calling the SOAP service. Okay, this SOAP service, if you see, the message protocol is SOAP 1.x. Over there in HTTPS, it's HTTP protocol. Okay, here it is SOAP 1. Like nobody will have, just for general info. The message protocol is SOAP 1.x, and I just just create one more. Like there will be two type of SOAP adapters, SOAP RM and SOAP 1.x.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so we will be using SOAP 1.x most probably. That's the kind of
Mm-hmm.
more advantages than SOAP RM is like asynchronous mostly. So that's why. You click on the saver, and if you see here,
So,
so there are two options. SOAP RM and SOAP
okay.
1.x. So we'll be choosing SOAP 1.x most probably. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then once we choose that, we will have to give this details, okay, address and all. So first thing is address. So this is a standard calculator web service. You can just put it on Chrome also, and you'll be able to access it. Okay, this is a calculator web service. So where you can do add, divide, multiple, subtract, and all. Okay. So we will be giving that address here, and the proxy type is internet because it is easily accessible over internet. It's
Mm-hmm.
not on premise. And URL to visitor, something like we will be downloading this visitor. Okay, from here. If you click on visitor specification, you can see here, or we can download it from Postman also. Mm, and do one thing. Visit URL. Yeah. So if you just click on question mark visual, we'll get the visual format. Sorry.
Still format. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
This is how it looks. That is, I copied the same file from there. So we can do this v page source, and then you can just copy it into your one notepad file or something like that. Okay.
Mhm.
This is how it looks. And what we will do. So there will be like URL to visitor here, right? So
Mhm.
we will be just selecting it from our file system, like same like how we'll
Mhm.
upload files and all. We will have to give that visual file here. Okay, if we
Okay.
give that visual file, this and all will get automatically loaded.
Okay.
Earlier it won't be there. So
Mhm.
this p1 dot calculator and all will be coming from here only, visual file only.
Okay.
Like it's just kind of a namespace or something like that. That
Mhm.
that CPA will be just like underlying logic or something where that will be auto updated from
Mhm.
Wisdom. Okay, we don't
Yeah.
need to know much about this. Okay, so we just need
Mhm.
to select like what operation we have to do over there. Maybe I'll just show once again. See, this is like calculator. Okay, there are like
Mhm.
multiple operations which we can do. There is 1.1, 1.2, like two versions.
Yeah.
Add, divide, multiply, subtract, and so I will be just choosing this multiply. And then it will be coming like this. Calculator soap and operation name is multiply. And
Okay.
version is 1.2, something like that. Okay.
Mhm.
Authentication is done. We don't need any authentication. This and all we can keep as it is.
Mhm.
And this is all like default. Okay.
What
We don't,
about the checkboxes? Like
yeah, that is
include.
all default.
Okay.
I
It will
haven't
also.
changed anything. Yeah.
Mhm.
So keep alive is like connection, keeping alive. Allow chunking is like say if we are getting like some thousands of records and all. So
Mhm.
backend doesn't take all the load at a time. So we need to send in chunks. Chunks is in like smaller parts of payload.
Smaller parts. Yeah.
Yeah, so that the load won't be more. It won't affect too much, and it won't give too much load on backend. It will be sending in chunks so that it will
Mhm.
process easily. And return HTTP response code as header. Like what is the response code? Whether it is 200 okay, or whether it is 400 bad request. You know that
Mhm.
HTTP codes and all, right? So that
Mhm.
response. Do we want it or not? So that then clean up request headers. So sometimes unnecessary request headers goes along with the request. So we don't
Mhm.
want that request, then we can like we have to clean it up. Otherwise, it will cause error. So that's why we'll be
Mhm.
selecting the switch box. And WS security is like as of now we'll keep none. Like I don't see we have used this anywhere in the channel. Like I have
Yeah.
always seen it as none only.
Mhm.
So yeah. So that's it about SOAP adapter and
Mhm.
message mapping. What I did. So we'll have there some two values, right? Like we have to give values.
Mhm.
So if you see, so this is SOAP UI. Okay,
Mhm.
this is how it looks. The input payload. It's the same
Okay.
calculator visited. So we will have two variables here, integer A, integer B. We will have to give that values.
Mhm.
Just a minute.
And the body. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So this is SOAP UI. Okay, it is also a tool like Postman. Got it?
Mhm.
So uh, we will have kind of this kind of input period we need to send, like to add or subtract or multiply or deal with, what do we need? We need two integers, right? Integer A,
Mm,
integer B, and how we will wrap the input payload. SOAP service will always use the XML, and we will keep the body under envelope. I told you, right? Like when I gave introduction.
mm,
So where did I keep that? So it will be looking like this SOAP envelope example. It should be
mm,
always covered in this way. Okay. So what I did to add or subtract, like I just like when we create mapping service, right?
mm,
If you click on edit, so we will add this and then we will click on create. It is already created. You just need to click on give some name and all, and then the message mapping will be created. Okay, there we have to select some visual file here. Okay, so I already selected here. It's the same calculator that visual file. If you select that visual file here, the mapping
mm,
will be loaded automatically. Where do you want to
okay.
add, or do you want to subtract, or do you want to multiply, something like that? So now I want to do what? I want to do multiply. So I'll be choosing multiply. The structure will be loaded automatically. Okay. We don't need to do anything. And once it is done, we just need to assign some constant here. We click on this. I'll just delete it and show it to you. So now I'll go again. Now if you just click on this, it is showing some assign constant, right? You just need to click on
Mm,
assign constant so that you can give the value of variable at the runtime itself. Okay. I'll show you how to trigger. So we didn't do any mapping. We just assigned some values like constant shit constant over there. Okay.
yeah.
So now I've created one Postman collection for this. Where and one more thing is for soap adapter, right? Are there
Mm,
any problems with this? So going to cancel web service. We'll have that endpoint URL after we deploy. This is how the endpoint URL looks. Okay, now if I click on send,
mm,
see it is giving 50 result. And what are the values we are given? It's like 10 and 5.
okay.
Yeah. See, int is 10. 10 5 is a 50.
Where is 5? Like, oh.
Yes. Int A, int B.
Mm, okay,
So
okay.
how does it look in the back end? It is like this. Okay, here we will give 10. Here we will give
Mm,
5. So where we are giving that, we are giving that in the message mapping. We are just assigning some constant, right? I told you, right? We just click
mm,
here and we just assign some constant. And we have given that constant value as 10 and we have given that constant value as 5. It is just to show you as an example. In real time, how it will work is like, so sender will be sending some values and we will be defining this as an header or property. Like we will make it as dynamic. You send whatever you want. So whatever the operations they want, that will also be like we will be having different mappings for each addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So that will also we will store somewhere in some header. So whatever the operation you want to do and whatever the values you want to give, you can send dynamically that you can do. But for just for learning purposes, I use this way. Okay. So we'll be just giving that visual in the mapping, and even in the real time, we will be using visual here and we will here we have assigned constant, right? So at sender side we will have one mapping, receiver side we will have one structure, different structure. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
they will say like we want to map India to IND or international, INR to the currency or something like that. So here it will be currency, here it will be like INR. We will just drag and drop here, then it will be mapped one to one. We will just show you that also. That I will show deep in message processing, but it is just for your analysis. Hmm. If I remove this delete, delete, move it, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be like this.
Okay.
Hmm. Open, okay. Sure. So now int A is mapped to int A, int B is mapped to int. In real time, it will be like currency is mapped to INR or nation is mapped to India, something like that. We'll be having different values. Just for your example, we'll be doing that. Okay.
Yeah. How do we change this multiply and all?
And
Like
that
how do?
that
Yeah.
is by default. See, so when you click on edit here, this how did this came? Because we have added
Mm-hmm.
this digital calculator at
Still, yeah.
it only supports addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So we can
Mm-hmm.
just play with. If I click on calculator at digital, okay, I'll click on add. Okay, now addition came. Now if I click on
Mm-hmm.
subtraction,
Mm-hmm.
subtraction key, something like that. So if that
Okay.
supports, so in real time I'm saying like workday success factor, now it is just four, it is a calculator, it just supports only four operations. When you go
Mm-hmm.
in workday success factor or something like that, success factor has all the employee records of the company. So it will be
Mm-hmm.
having the all every detail about employees salary, his increment, personal details, professional details, and so say some employees getting some 50,000 salary, he got promotion, and his salary has to be increased. How and it will show in SuccessFactors and Workday portal, right? In Accenture, you might be saying like in we will be having bonus info and increment info in Workday
Mm-hmm.
profile. How that will move because of because SuccessFactor will be storing that, and then we will be using some web services like this which will update okay increment by this percentage, then your profile will be increasing by that, and that's how your increased salary will be showing. So it will be
Okay.
using something like these operations.
Mm-hmm. Got
Okay,
it.
yeah. So benefits of using versioning and all, even if you do many changes like this, you can always still go back to the working version. So this is one thing, okay. And 200 okay is always request successful. So now what we have got, so it says multiply result 50. Okay. Similarly, I have took one real time Workday web service. How does that look? I'll just show you. But it is too huge. Okay. It is too that. Yeah, here. So you can see, right? This is Workday profile, and it
Mm-hmm.
has like multiple stuff: absence management, academic foundation. It's not just one thing, right? Like in Workday, you can see the learning management, you can see uh, financial management, HR thing will be there, and interview feedback and all, payroll and all, different countries
Mm-hmm.
payroll, like Accenture Australia, Accenture Canada, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
and recruiting will be there. So multiple this HCM you might know, like there will be multiple operations which they will be taking care of, and all will
Mm,
be using Workday. All will be using SuccessFactor, and it will be having multiple services. So if you want some specific information, you can just go choose that and use. We can like we can use it for learning. Think I took personal information or something like that. So I just created this. Here also we will what we will do. We will just give that address here. Okay. Same address which
yeah, this is
community
the
dot,
same. Yeah.
yeah. And internet URL to visit. We choose the human resources. Human
Mm,
resources release HR visitor.
it's on. So
It's human
on
resources.
to WhatsApp, like
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, Flex team. Yep.
yes. So there is something called as change personal information. Yeah, yeah. Change
Mm,
personal information. So here it is just kind of web service. It's kind of an operation. Add or
mm,
update. There is the add, subtract, multiple. There is something called a change personal information. There are many items in what do you call HR profile. So what we did, we click on edit.
mm,
Same thing you will get. Okay, now we are seeing it in browser. Here we will seeing it in different option. What operation you want to do? I want to do change personal information. This and all will come pops up here. No, I want to do something else. I want to change government IDs. Then you can see operation is government IDs. It is getting
mm,
changed. So based on that, you can like what is the requirement exactly from source team. They want to do this, then update visitor according to that. We don't need to do any changes here. You can always you can always listen to the requirement and then do. So how did you get that this file? How did you get? You didn't ask, right? So how we
mm.
are getting that is like we will be having message mapping, right? That's why we are using message mapping, like what to pass as an input payload. So you can ignore this. Okay, we can keep like if we are not if we just want to get the payload which we want to send, then we just need the receiver time. Source you can just assign something random. We just need to assign constants, and then once you send it from Postman, you will be seeing the uh, XML payload.
Yep.
Okay, so this you will be using to send. Like now it is constant. You can just
Mm,
fill up some info and then you send it to the SOAP service again. It will be updating the result. Same thing we did for call to calci web service. So first
mm,
we got that payload. If you want, I'll just show you how did I get that payload. Edit. Just delete this for time being. Click on deploy. Yes. Okay. Cancel. To call to calci web service. Send. You can click on XML. See, it's the same uh, int taste and int b is 5. So then I will be using this payload.
mm.
Like here, since I assigned some constant, some value to that constant, it is coming like this. Or else in real time, how it will be there? It will be like constant. It will
Okay.
be like it will be like this. Constant, constant. So that you can assign some headers to it, and you can always change it. Same if you see the other Workday web service. Here it is constant, constant, right? So it will be same like that. So that's
Mm,
how we will get the input payload. Then again we will initial screening, then we will connect to the request reply, then we will be sending the actual values, and then we will pass the values to it to do some
So after
operations.
we do, we'll get this
Yes,
passing
yes,
error.
yeah. So how the requirement will come, so they will say like some sender party will be there, some third party, okay, thing under some third party integration. Say in Accenture, there will be many companies working. Even if it is for one project, there will be many other sectors working inside the same project, right?
Mhm.
So there will be contractors. Okay, there will be permanent employees. So contractors will be from some other company. Say Capgemini contractor will be is working in Vodafone company, or some other contractor company is working in Accenture company. So main branch is Accenture, but contractor is Capgemini. Okay, so we want in success factor there will be different job ID for contractor, different job ID for permanent employee, right? So
Yeah.
what they say, Capgemini guys, they will say like. Okay, for contractors, learnings will be different, and for permanent employees, learnings will be different. So,
Mhm.
Capgemini company will say like, okay, there is some backend service in S4HANA success for success factor web service. You can make use of that. You can update, our contractor. The contractor profile has to be available in both the places. In success factor profile also, in backend profile also. S4HANA thing also, right? It we always do replicate. You might have seen that replicate employee data from S4HANA to SuccessFactor. Replicate
Mhm.
employee data from SuccessFactor to S4HANA. Why they would do replicate? If there is some update in the backend, it has to be the same data
Update
in
here.
the
Mhm.
here also, right? It has to be in sync, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, if Accenture employee got promotion, in SuccessFactor portal it got updated, but if it is not updated in S4HANA, if someone else is fetching that info from S4HANA, it will be a mismatch.
yeah.
So you will always have to replicate.
Mhm.
So that is where we use. That's how the requirement comes. So when they say like that, so sender party will be like Capgemini, receiver will be like some SOAP web service in the S4HANA. Okay, we will be integrating that, and we will be updating the info,
Mhm.
employee info and all.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the input payload and all which you want to share? That is comes under business, development phase only. We will be using this message mapping. We'll see like what input payload we have to, send and all, and or sometimes sender team will only give that. We don't need to worry too much about this since we don't have like much info, real time info which I can show you. So I'll be using this message mapping. Okay. That's about SOAP receiver adapter. Now, okay, where we will use SOAP sender adapter. Here we are using it. Okay, Mm, so just a minute. I think that I kept it under session 5, is it? Hmm. SOAP sender adapter. So we'll have multiple parameters in SOAP sender adapter. Okay. Uh, if I show that to you, we'll use the same calculator web service only. So same like HTTPS adapter, we will also be giving some SOAP, like some useful name here, SOAP sender adapter, and we will be having different options here which we need to configure. Okay, there is something called as asynchronous and synchronous. Do you have any idea? Like what is it?
Mm. No.
Okay,
Like.
synchronous
Mm.
is uh, okay. Sender sends a request and they expect response also. like whether he sent some money and he expects some acknowledgement back, whether he got received it or not. That is
Mm.
called as synchronous. Asynchronous is he just sends money. I don't want your acknowledgement. I just sent you. That is
Okay.
asynchronous. Okay. So some requirements, they will be like uh, one way. They just want one way transactions, and some sender team they want both two-way transaction, request plus response. So like we'll have based on requirement we will be doing it. Okay. So there is something
Okay.
called a service definition. So usually we will be using WSDL and all, since we don't have just for learning purposes. I'm showing you like both the options
Manual.
available. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll use manual. If we are using manual, okay, we will have to send that payload from SOP UI. Okay. This use WS addressing, we'll keep it as unchecked. This is default. We are not used it anywhere. Okay. And if we use it as WSDL, we will always get URL to WSDL. We just need to upload from file system. Okay. That I will show
Yeah.
you next. As of now, we will keep manual and I'll show you. So message exchange pattern. So I told you one way and request reply. One way is like only asynchronous.
Synchronous.
Only request will go. And request replies, we will receive response as well back. Okay. It's like synchronous. And if we keep message exchange pattern as request reply, that other option didn't come here. See, if you see one way, this processing settings and is coming here. So if I keep request reply, that processing settings is not coming. Why? Because in one way, if we keep request, okay, in processing settings also there are two types, robust and WS standard. If we keep robust, it is an asynchronous way still. I means we won't get any response back. But if there is any error, say
Mm.
some receiver system throws some error, we will get that error back. Sender team will get that error back if we keep robust. And sender team doesn't get any error back, sender team doesn't get any response back, then it is WS standard. Okay,
Right.
I just given here in a short form that request reply will return response body, one way will not return any response body. And
Mm.
if we keep one way, we'll have two options. Robust will process synchronously plus will return errors if we have any errors.
Mm.
This will asynchronously simplest and it will not return any errors. And we will have different combinations. Request reply synchronous and all, one way plus robust is sync plus no response body return errors. One way plus W standard is, it's the same thing. I just for your
Explain.
better understanding. Yeah. And authorization, when it comes to authorization, we'll have user role and client certificate. User role is same as HTTPS adapter. We will be using ESP messaging dot send and all. If we are using client certificate, we have to import that certificate over there, and we have to give that. We have to select that certificate from here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this way, just a minute. So how we will test Karthik is so this HTTPS will use Postman, right? For SOAP sender adapter, we will be always be using SOAP EY.
Yeah.
This is also a tool like Postman just for SOAP services. For
Mm.
OData and REST web service, we'll use Postman. For SOAP we will use the SOAP EY. Okay. So when you use SOAP, what is the difference between HTTPS and SOAP adapter is when you deploy right in. For the HTTP based iFlows, it will be HTTP here. For SOAP, it will be CXF here. Okay. I will just
Yes.
show
Okay.
some HTTP based. If you see, it is HTTP here.
Mm.
Then it is the address which we give. Here, first part is host, the whatever you see here,
Yeah.
till.com.
Common. Yeah.
After that, HTTP. After that, address which we give in the sender adapter. But for SOAP sender adapter, it will be same till.com and then CXF and then SOAP sender adapter. And the address which we give in SOAP sender adapter. Okay. And we will have something called as WSDL and WSDL without policies. So in receiver, what we will do, we will get WSDL from receiver system, or we will get it from this way like question mark WSDL and all. Then we will import. For sender, since we are only the consumers, CPA generates the WSDL itself. Okay, we just need to download this and use it. Okay, like for testing purpose.
Yeah. Like without policies or with policies, which one?
Without policies.
Okay.
Since we are not using any policies, we will be using this. Okay, and once we download, okay, if you click on SOAP, like new SOAP project, and then
Mm.
click on browse, and you just need to select that file. Since like then like if you click on OK, that file will be coming here. Since I've already imported. I'm
Okay.
not doing it again. It's the like normal, how we are sending a file to someone. Like you will just click on browse, you will select that photo, and you will send it. Right, same way you will just have to click on browse and you click on OK. So we will have something called as add, divide, multiply, subtract. Okay. So if you see here, it has the CPA trial account URL,
Yeah.
like SOAP interface URL, and the same input payload it loads automatically.
Yeah.
Okay, so if they want to do some operations on the backend service, so then they will be using this SOAP service. Okay, then they will give some input values. If they enter, it is showing unauthorized. So we always need to give the authorization here, basic authorization. Username password is we have stored it to here, right? Which we can just copy. Client ID is this. Sorry, client secret is this. Uh, Now if you click on send, it is giving 200 OK. Earlier it was giving 401 unauthorized. See, 401 unauthorized is what? Credentials is wrong, or we haven't given any credentials. What is the output we have got? We got the same output, right? Because what we have kept request reply. Is the which one is this? The other one, right?
That- that-
This one.
mm.
Use reduced. So here we use the calculator wisdom. So the one which we used manual, right?
Mm.
So when we use wisdom, it will get option for URL wisdom under. Like we just need to select this and the calculator whatever you want to use, and then um, processing settings whether it is robust or something like that. So here you won't get that one where request reply. Why? Because so this Visual itself have that operation wala this Visual itself has this.
Yeah. Free.
We'll see it from here. No. So this field itself has the both request and response. Okay. Element name and so what does that mean? It sends the response back, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, Karthik.
Yeah. So that's why we are not getting that option. So if you want to pass some dynamic values or do some modifications, then you will be using the soap sender adapter. No, no, you somebody else is sending the values. We have the service. We will be updating it. Then we will be using the soap receiver adapter. Simple. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Any doubts with
No,
soap
no.
adapter? No, right? It's a simple. Okay, sometimes both sender and receiver will be using soap adapter only, and those who wants to perform operations they will be giving different values and or they will be passing it in some headers. In receiver we will make it dynamic and we will make sure that operation is getting done and we will send the response back to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
about adapter. So we have covered a bit of message mapping, bit of SOAP adapter, sender and receiver adapter. And in sender, there are multiple parameters which we need to select. Service definition, whether it is manual or WSDL. If we are choosing WSDL, we will have the URL to WSDL. We just need to select that WSDL file over there. And what is the message exchange pattern? Whether it is one way or request reply. We are choosing WSDL. We don't get this option since in WSDL itself file itself we will have that operation whether you want one way or two way. That's why if it is manual only then we will be having the operations called as one way or request reply. And then
Mm-hmm.
we have something called as process settings, where which is called as like we'll have two options over there, robust or ws standard. If it is robust we will
Standard.
get
Yeah.
errors back. If it is ws
Uh-huh.
standard we won't get our errors back. And something called
Yeah.
as authentication, whether it is user role or client certificate. Okay, usually it will
Yeah.
be like usual. But if somebody wants to change it to client certificate, we will be using client certificate. Same with
Mm-hmm.
respect to the receiver adapter. So receiver adapter also we will be having address. We will be having URL to visitor option where we have to connect. Select that URL file. This will be auto
Yeah.
loaded. Authentication.
Autoloaded, yes.
Yeah, and proxy type is internet or on-prem. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
when we are connecting to S4 and all, we will be selecting this as on-prem. Okay, we will connect
On-prem,
via
yes.
cloud connector. There
Okay.
will be something called as location ID, which whatever they maintain in cloud connector, that basis consultants will be telling us, hey, we have used this location ID in the cloud connector until that we will be maintaining.
Mm.
So it
Okay.
says to connect to your cloud connector instances associated with your account, enter the location ID that you defined for this instance in the destination
Mm.
configuration of cloud side. You can also enter this something, but this always basis consultants will give. You don't need to worry much about
Okay.
it. And we have some default headers which we will keep checkbox, like we won't change anything. Okay.
Got it.
It's pretty simple, but I think nowadays most of the people are updating to the REST APIs. They are not using SOAP APIs, but in PA, PO, we used to use most of the SOAP web services. So if somebody is doing PO to CPA migration, they might be still using SOAP adapter. Like they will still replicate whatever they're in PA to CPA, right? So they will be going for say SOAP adapter, but usually, whatever I saw, I think most of the guys are updating themselves to cloud-based stuff, right? So they are using the REST adapter and HTTPS adapter or SFTP or something like that. And I worked on, I barely worked on super adapters. Okay, so just for your information, and you can the main difference is the CXF in URL. In sender, we will be uh, sharing our visual file
Yeah.
with the sender
Mhm.
team. If you are using SOAP sender adapter, we will share this visual file with the sender team so that they can, they can, give that values. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like a template we will give, and they will fill the values, and they will be sending messages. If it is the receiver, the receiver team will be giving visitor to you. Then we will be putting that in CPI. We will be
Okay.
using that in receiver adapter. Okay, that's about SOAP adapter. If you're still interested, we can. I mean, I just attached blog links also, help.sap.com. You can just go through that.
I'll go through that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's too much for maybe OData we can uh, start tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, sure. I think you can just did I paste it session 4 notes to you?
Which one? Like
Session four.
4,
Yeah. Last class notes did I
3
share?
and 4. You did it on fourth
Oh,
meeting, fourth class.
yeah.
So you need to be share like only 5
Session
in
five, right?
today's session. Yes.
So I'm just putting session 5 notes. Yeah, just like this covers OData also, but I will be covering OData tomorrow class.
Sorry.
I will be covering OData in tomorrow class, but this notes has OData related notes also.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
You can
I'll
refer.
if I have time, like if I
Yeah,
got time, I'll go through it for sure,
sure, sure,
and I'll try to make some time.
sure. You can just go through blogs, and if you get any doubts, also you can reach out to me. Okay,
Sure.
sure. Okay, then.
Yeah.
Have a nice day. We'll connect tomorrow. Like
Sure.
tomorrow, tomorrow also maybe I will connect around 9:15. Okay, I have some activity,
Mm.
production activity, and all. If it gets late, I will just inform this guy. I think they will be, touch base with you.
Yeah.
I think most probably I will take the class. If like something goes wrong, I might stretch, right? So then that case I will tell this guy. He will be informing
Oh,
you.
okay. Okay.
Okay, sure. Okay, then. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you so much.